Everybody has seen the stories about a cop arresting some 80-year-old grandmother for offending the rules against COVID, or the cops coming down and saying to a reporter, "You can't cover this story." My bet is that cops actually don't like those rules. Brian Lilley is with The Sun nationally. He covers a lot of this. He joins me right now because I want to get his opinion as to whether you think we're turning into a police state and whether, in fact, the cops should be doing a better job.
It really depends on where you live. And that was my reaction when Doug Ford brought in the stay-at-home order in Ontario. People said, "Oh, that's worse than the curfew." And I said, it really will come down to enforcement. And so far, the enforcement in Ontario hasn't been bad. We've seen some really horrible things in Quebec.
Well, we've seen a fair share of our ones in Ontario, too. The other day in Toronto.
We haven't seen the people going into the home in Gatineau ripping somebody out because you had 6 people at supper instead of 5.
But I'm sure that cop who was on the bottom of a toboggan hill with a megaphone saying, "You can't go above the 3rd level."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he didn't like his job.
I don't think the cops want to be doing this, and I don't think that Canadians want the cops doing this, and polling backs that up. You know, I've been shown some polling that people, you know, will be coming out. People just don't like this. They don't like the idea. They like the idea of tough COVID restrictions.
Yes.
They really do. The public is more comfortable with them than I would like, but they don't like the idea of the cop stopping you. "Oh, Stephen, you're on the street. Why are you on the street at this hour?" They don't want that. They don't want you being stopped in your car. They don't want your cell phone tracked. None of that.
So, but we are into an era right now where it looks like we are having the rule of state as opposed to the rule of law. And so we both can agree that the cops don't like doing that, but the politicians want someone to be able to stop you on the street and say, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah, and the public has fully embraced it. And, you know, I spent months railing against it and eventually realized I may as well yell into the wind. It's not helping. The public feels safer when politicians are doing something or seem to be doing something about COVID. Whether it's working or not, doesn't matter. They like it. It gives them a warm embrace rather than opening things up, which makes them nervous.
So, Brian, should the Canadian people be saying, looking at this more askance and saying, "Hey, there's something going wrong here"?
Well, for that to happen, they would need to have, you know, more people in the media saying that there's something wrong with it, rather than most of the people in the media calling for stricter lockdowns. They would need to have.
What is Brian Lilley calling for?
I have called for a lift to lockdowns in the past. I'm not now because there's no point to it. People love them. But there's also no opposition party saying end the lockdowns or think of something else. So the predominant voice is more lockdowns and the public saying, "Yeah, we like it." At a certain point, you just say, "Okay, well, if the old song from the Jam, the public gets what the public wants."
I'm not going to give in. Brian Lilley, thanks very much. 3 minutes. So thank you for watching, and please make sure that you subscribe and tell your friends. We are going to have lots of fabulous shows coming up in the new year.